As much as we criticize these train wrecks for not having any self-awareness, are we sure that we as viewers have self-awareness?
Trolling only goes so far before it becomes harassment. Well, yeah, and even trolling, like, honestly, I don't miss, I like being here because people don't do that to people here. Like, women would never, never, never cut each other down to the level I've seen. Like, having come from both parts of the world, I mean, having experienced both parts of the world, coming from the Western, coming here, it's a whole different culture. People do not insult each, they're not allowed to insult each other like that online. You'll be thrown in jail. Basically, his wife's a, and he's a old and a big fat piece of crap. I don't know how you and your wife do anything, honestly, gross. Just like trash bag, you're all trash. You all need to go and live in a trash community house. How about Big Brother Trash Edition? How about that? How about that? I donated some to her GoFundMe. I know it's not a lot, but honestly, we're not like doing the super best financially either right now. What's the matter, Allah? You're mad that your wife has to work? Like seriously, you're just mad. I don't have to work. He provides for me. We're not like doing the super best financially. You can't provide for your wife, so she has to work at a friggin' retail store. It's just really sad. And I don't know. Being closer to God has made me value my life because we only get one. Like when you really think about that, we only get one life. And it's precious. So don't waste it, you know? And I've realized like what's important is your character over any money. You know, I don't even envy people. I see all the time people on social media having so many nice things. If you buy a candle for 200 bucks, I automatically hate your guts. Should take pieces. I do. I really do. I don't know why people think I'm a bad friend. I've never been anything but there for him, you know? I'm not responsible for somebody else's mental health. I'm not. No, I don't want to spend one night away from Nader. Why? Why? He's still going to be depressed when I leave. He's still going to be depressed when I leave the next morning. If you like lay down and don't have the will to live, like I can't force you to do things. Like I don't know what to say. That's why he never turns against me because people don't know our friendship behind everything. You know, you don't really fully know someone's life like the way you think you do, you know? And no, you are the one who made fun of Pete. Why do I talk like this? And whenever you did that face, yeah, it made me laugh, and I'm a piece of shit for laughing at that, I guess. So, I guess if you want to hate and be a loser, you can do it on Discord. You can go to Kiwi Farms. You can go to Charlie Gold.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, my name is Charlie. Please consider subbing before you exit this video. Before I really get into the video, I want to give a little background to the initial purpose of this style of video. I know there was a big portion of my viewers who missed shorter content. I also wanted to create something that didn't take me days to edit and would provide a more concise opinion that leaned a bit more into constructive-ish, emphasis on the ish, because I'm still me. With all that being said, I stand by everything I've said on my channel, even my own mistakes. If you're a creator publishing content on this platform, there will always be something to criticize. Over the last couple of days, I've seen fingers being pointed and a lot of people being defensive. Unfortunately, a viewer of this corner of YouTube recently passed, and she seemed to be a supporter of Chantel. And before I get into any of this, I want to make a few things clear. Whether something was confirmed or not is none of my business. Whether there's an obituary available to the public is none of my business. Her family could say whatever they'd like while they grieve, and it's none of my business. I will never regret saying rest in peace to someone who may be lying, but I damn sure will regret questioning someone who actually took their own life. And I'm not even offering my condolences. I don't know that young lady, I just feel bad for her kids and her family. I personally have never acknowledged the young lady. I only saw a clip or two on Twitter and kept it moving. However, my stance would be the same if Chantel or Amber had a similar outcome. That is my main focus of this video. That young lady may be someone most of us didn't know or have any interest in watching, But let's not pretend we're kind to the train wrecks that we watch. I want to take you back to when Amber had first shared her diagnosis. There was a flood of hate many creators, including myself, were receiving. We were being told we should delete our videos on them, we should apologize, we should feel guilty for stressing Amber out because it probably played a part in why she had cancer. Just a whole bunch of bullshit. When I looked at those comments, my initial reaction was confusion. But then I realized it was probably guilt. And I see a hint of that with what's going on right now. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. When it comes to the people I talk about on my platform, I said what I said. I'm not walking anything back, no matter the outcome. Amberlynn and Chantel are two morbidly obese, mentally ill women, and I don't care. Their health will never be an excuse for most of their actions. In Chantel's case, a proper diagnosis may be able to explain her being impulsive, but at the end of the day, I don't care. If something was to happen to them, my opinion of them the day before something happens to them doesn't change. Now, this is not me wishing something to happen. It's just me being very aware those two can go away any day for a list of reasons. Here's my question to viewers. Are you aware of that? Are you sure you fully grasp that? I'm kind of seeing history repeat itself with a lot of opinions flying around. I remember seeing this one tweet and a few tweets that actually echoed the same sentiment. And I'm going to paraphrase here because I don't actually want to put their tweet in my video. I don't want them to feel attacked because they are a viewer. But their tweet pretty much said, no one should really feel guilt over this woman's passing. At least the people they follow, they haven't really seen anything harsh or too mean or bullying. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but that was like the sentiment. And I started thinking to myself, have you seen your Twitter timeline? Are you sure that's the hot take you want to put out there? As much as we criticize these train wrecks for not having any self-awareness, are we sure that we as viewers have self-awareness? I remember when the first uptick of criticism started coming my way a few years back, and some viewers were also upset about me using the phrase pig mad, Sodom Phil Whale, and others. I was initially confused because it wasn't a new thing. I was being dubbed the biggest, baddest bully who wouldn't apologize. Well, I wasn't sorry. I meant it. A cancer diagnosis didn't change my opinion of Amber. It just caused me to just not cover her. And that was my choice. I struggled to navigate a lot of the criticism and the racism that was thrown my way, but I've been doing this long enough, and as I continue to learn on this platform, I've learned to simply just shrug some things off, whether it's silence or a simple okay. Not everything needs to be defended. If something happened to one of these train wrecks and their family wanted to go off on me in a video, so be it. I can only imagine what grieving looks like for them. And if I'm not about to offer up an apology, it would probably be best I shut the up. Sitting here today, I don't care who calls me a bully. Okay, people are entitled to that opinion. Chances are, I don't give a about the feelings of the person you claim I'm bullying. I'm not about to start deleting and tweeting think pieces to make myself feel better. I remember I tweeted out one thing back when Amberlynn was diagnosed, and it was simply to tell people stop calling it karma. I knew my reason behind tweeting it, but the message got lost since so many people were upset, as if I really had control over a complete stranger online getting cancer or not. So while there's a lot of discussion around someone's passing, let's try to spark a different convo. Are you as a viewer actually prepared in case something happened to Amber or Chantal? Based on a lot of the things I've seen over the years, not just the last couple of days, I really don't think enough people are asking themselves that. These are strangers on the internet for me. Whether I felt bad for one or the other, that would pass fairly quickly, and I'd move on. I remember when I first found out about Life by Jen, it was shocking. I was live, and it caught me off guard. I felt bad for her, but guess what? I moved on. I saw a lot of sympathy tweets from some of the same people who used to drag the out of her, and some tweets from people that I believe were genuine since they always rooted for her. Point is, consider waking up. That young lady isn't Amber or Chantal, but one day you might wake up to the news of it being them. Hopefully not under the same circumstances, but it can still happen. They can be gone any day. One train wreck is over 500 pounds, miraculously beat cancer, has an ankle that won't heal, and recently had to order a new scale, probably because her legs are the size of tree trunks. The other train wreck is a bigot, a seasonal crackhead who recently converted, who used to drive under the influence, and ate her way to a life-changing procedure. Both have mental issues, and I still don't give a I know this video might somewhat be all over the place, but my point is, if you're acting like this over a woman you knew from a couple of videos, what is going to be your reaction if something happened to Amber or Chantel? I trash Amber and Chantel unapologetically. Chantel was out here losing her mind for over a year and a half. I didn't care to laugh at her. I mean, if I'm being real, laughing at a bigot is part of my skincare routine. It keeps my cheekbones elevated, but, that's just one benefit. But enough with the excuses and defensiveness. Either you own your shit or leave. Stop pretending as a viewer you're not aware of what you're engaging in. I've seen comments in the past to Amber like, "I'm sorry I even let Hater Nation make me say those things about you." Excuse you? You're grown. You're responsible for your own actions. I say what I want, and I'm responsible for every word and action that comes from my body. As a viewer, you're no different. The difference is you don't have a platform to point out the ridiculous hypocrisy and lack of accountability on your part. I have no problem being the reminder that we all have choices. A choice in what we engage in, and a choice in how we react. Watching everything play out over the last couple of days was just weird. If you know you did nothing wrong, stand on that and keep it moving. Trust me, I know how hard it could be to not clap back at people falsely placing blame on you. Just look at my Twitter timeline over the last 12 hours, okay? I still had to be pulled back in. So the message of this video is simple. Own your Stop claiming you don't do things that could be easily pointed out that you do. Stop getting defensive because you're used to being the one levying the criticism instead of receiving it. Who cares? More and more I realize how many people may not actually have much outside of this online space. And this is coming from somebody who is invested. But there's a balance there. When it comes to topics like this and unfortunately events like this, there's no fun spin to put on it. So just consider some of what I've mentioned in this video. It's okay to just take a step back and pause. This ain't for everyone. Alright, I'm stepping off my soapbox now. I'm gonna keep giving my opinions, talking if I want, about who and what I want. The end. In the meantime, just take a moment. Everything doesn't need a comment right away. Everything doesn't need a response right away. And damn sure not everything needs to be looked into. I want to emphasize silence. It's a very powerful thing. Chantel decided to chime in and make this young lady's death about herself, while completely forgetting her own actions.
Trolling only goes so far before it becomes harassment. Well, yeah, and even trolling, like, honestly, I like being here because people don't do that to people here. Like, women would never, never, never cut each other down to the level I've seen. Basically, his wife's a skank and he's a cuckold. Like, having come from both parts of the world, having experienced both parts of the world, coming from the Western, coming here, it's a whole different culture. People do not they're not allowed to insult each other like that online. You'll be thrown in jail. Police bees. Should take pieces. I do. I really do. I don't know why people think I'm a bad friend. I've never been anything but there for him. No, I don't want to spend one night away from Nader. Why? Why? He's still going to be depressed when I leave. He's still going to be depressed when I leave the next morning. If you, lay down and don't have the will to live, I can't force you to do things. I don't know what to say.
If Chantel doesn't care about the struggles of her ex-fiancé/landlord/ball and chain, I really don't see her caring about a complete stranger online. Now, Amber thought it was an opportunity as well, while completely forgetting she publicly supported a bigot because they were criticizing a creator she didn't like. Please shut up. Sit there and eat your food. This woman's passing will never be a dunk on the people they dislike. Silence can be used for many different reasons, especially when you're constantly loud and wrong, and that's not new to either of them. Well, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed any part of the video, please consider giving it a like. It supports the channel. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you are subscribed and not getting notifications, please consider unsubscribing, resubscribing, and setting your notifications to all. You know the drill. And a huge thank you to all the support that comes from the channel members and the patrons. Later, cluster.
People wishing they were me. People wishing they were me. You wish you were me. You know. That's why you hate, because you're jealous. Here's to you. Oh.
I got blessings. blessings falling on me. I got weapons, need no army. Stat like Tetris, you don't know me. Stat my fatty, you don't know me. Okay, hey now, it's a new kid on the playground. So many bags on me, you would've thought I would get spray ground. Now they know I don't play around. I can hear what you're saying now. I just doubled up my flight miles. Coast to coast, no they ain't in town. I get rich, watch, then I get a sick watch. Watch me hit the top, I might make a TikTok. Left hand, right hand. Catch the latest trend, I might double up my net worth. I've been going up now, see the top going down. If you didn't know now, I know you know now. Best cause he could go on top, you not really top. You keep saying top, well I guess you let the top down. I've been going up now, see the top going down. If you didn't know now, I know you know now. Best cause he could go on top, you not really top. You keep saying top, well I guess you let the top down. Made a wish, now I'm here now. It's for real now. I got everything I wanted.